Hi guys, welcome back. Today I have Michelle Sidney. She's from New York, New York. She is a Subto community member and a real estate investor, and she just recently retired from her W-2. Pop bottles, girl.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Tell us what you did for your W-2.
Oh, well, like you said, I live in New York and I was working for MTA, New York City Transit. So I was with them for 26 years.
So you were the bus driver, right?
Started off as a bus driver and retired as a 19A supervisor dispatcher.
Oh, okay. All right. Do you have like a fun, exciting story to tell us about anything crazy that happened? Like that movie Speed or something like that. Remember that movie?
Nah, nothing like that never happened. Thank God.
Never
Not in
got
the
any
city.
crazy stories?
There's always crazy stories. I mean, being a bus driver in the city, you deal like our lines go through different demographics of blocks. So there's always something happening. You have people that get on the bus and don't want to get off the bus, that get on the bus and harass people and the bus drivers. They do things that I really don't want to say. So whatever you can imagine happens on the bus. Um,
Wow.
yeah, whatever you can imagine, it happens. You have people that, like, say you're at a red light and someone missed the bus because they were not on the bus. So you left the bus stop and you're at a red light. They literally would come and sit on the bumper or the bus and expect you to open the door to let them in. Really?
Wow.
Yeah. But
Wow.
once again, whatever you can think about happens on New York City Transit.
People trying to cross the street. Hey, I'm walking here.
Yeah.
They're so nice around there too. It's like, excuse me, sir, I'm lost. Well, I'm not you.
But it has really it's been good to me. I've
Good.
met a lot of people.
Pays well, right?
Yeah, pays well.
Good.
Pays well.
Were you driving on 9/11?
Actually on 9/11, I was home in my bed. I actually was off that day. And I was watching it as I literally remember like I was dozing off to sleep and the television was on and I thought, you know, being half asleep and watching this stuff happen, I thought it was something that was on the television that I was watching. And then as I woke up, I was, in disbelief. So,
Right.
yeah, that was scary because I lived uptown. So that happened all the way downtown, but it was something that you can't forget.
Right. Absolutely. I think for the whole country, for the whole world.
For the whole world, yeah. Something that you can't forget. Crazy.
So let's tell us about how you found Subto and what made you join Subto.
How did I find Sub 2? Well, it was like just before the pandemic, or during the pandemic, just searching around. Like I've always been intrigued about real estate. It's funny, I was talking to a gentleman last night and I was telling him, same question he asked me, and I was telling him, like, I go as far back as Carlton Sheets. Right. I go,
Wow.
yeah, I go back that far. But like I looked at it, I ordered it, but never just never went forward with it, but I've always been interested about real estate, and living in Harlem at that time, and I know all these things now. I didn't know it back then, but at the time, in Harlem, they was selling buildings for $1. They was,
What?
yeah, they was selling buildings for $1.
What kind of
And
buildings? Like houses or businesses
no,
or what?
buildings like multi-units. Like if you walk through Harlem now, um, on Lenox Avenue, like everything is brought up, fixed up. But before, we're talking about say like 20 something years ago, a lot of those buildings were abandoned. They were selling them for $1.
Oh, wow.
And walking up and down, because that's where I live at, well, used to live at, and walking up and down, I thought about it, I looked into it, but just never moved forward, because I was like, how am I, like, if we get the building, how are we going to pay for the repairs, how are we going to do this, how are we going to do that, and never, I didn't have anyone to go to have those questions answered. So what do you think I did? I did nothing.
Right.
And now here we are 20 years later. Could you imagine? I could imagine. With what I know now, I would have a lot of property in Harlem.
We gotta find a hot tub time machine.
For real, right?
The hot tub time machines are the best. Not a regular time machine, but a hot tub
Drop
time
time
machine with a
machine.
bottle of wine.
For sure.
Oh, man. Was it, I wonder why they were selling them for $1. Um was it a bad area, or was it just like a bad time for real estate, or like
I'm not gonna say it was a bad time for real estate. I really don't know. But history of Harlem comes back way in the 40s, 20s, where you had the mobsters and the guineas, and and then you had drugs, and uh because of that, a lot of abandoned buildings. Just, I guess, just through the history, that's where it ended up at that time when they was selling them for $1.
mm,
But there was a lot of property that um could have been brought up for pennies on a dollar, and now they're like millions of dollars.
ah,
Like literally, you could have gotten a property in Harlem for like $10,000, $5,000. Like I said, they had that program for $1, and I was living there, so I qualified for that program to own a property there. The brownstones are amazing.
I wonder what the property taxes were like, if that would have been like something doable.
I have no idea what it.
Back then we didn't even really know about, maybe buying something and then selling it to somebody else.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
could have bought
Like,
it, held on to it for a little bit, and then sold it to somebody else, made a little profit.
yes, even abandoned lots, like the lots that they used to have now. Um, they're building or have built on these little lots. And I'm talking about their little lots where they put up these narrow apartment buildings. They may be 3 or 4 stories with an elevator, but they're narrow, they're like this big. Um, and these guys they're charging like $5,000 for an apartment. It's crazy.
Wow.
Like if you can go back and just look at just 20 years ago, the difference of how Harlem has changed from then till today, you'd be like, wow, you'd be amazed.
I think they had something similar to that in Baltimore not too long ago, maybe 10, 15-ish years ago, where they had a lot of, Baltimore's famous for the row homes, the townhomes, and there was uh, a couple areas in the city where they were vacant and the windows were boarded up, like they were in disrepair and stuff like that. And I think they had a program where they were selling them for like 10 or $15 or something like that.
Right. But you had, I forgot what it is called. Baltimore is my market now. That's the market that I'm in. I forgot what the program was, but you have to be a resident of Baltimore, and I believe
Mm.
over a year. So investors can't come in there and, buy those up.
Well, guess what? I
Yeah.
live in I live in Baltimore.
So there you go. That's something to talk offline, girl.
Yeah, let's call it JB.
Let's go JV for real. Love it.
Shoot, yeah. So, do you have any advice for someone new starting in Subto? So you and I, when did you actually officially join?
I don't know. About literally about 2.5 years ago. So
Oh,
we're in,
really?
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
about
Yeah.
2.5 years ago. Um, um, I know it was in March. I can't remember the actual date right now, but it was literally the day that my adopted mother passed away. Like
Oh,
literally the same day.
sure.
I think like March 25th or something like that. I really can't remember right now. Um, but like I jumped into it at that time because I've been talking with them, trying to decide whether I was going to do it or not. And then I just did it that day. But I never started. I
Got
had other things going on. I never started. So literally that year, I didn't do much. Attended some videos, some Zooms. Um, played around in a Facebook group, but never really did anything. Um, and then when I did start to do anything, I wasn't consistent. I
ah,
wasn't consistent. I'm a workaholic. So I worked anywhere from 6, 7 days every other week or something like that. I did hours, 12, 14 hours, whatever I can get overtime, I got it. Um, and I worked.
so
So,
you got in with the really good prices. See, when I started the group, when I put those posts out, I was just brand new in Sub 2.
wow.
And you were one of the ones that joined my group. We had about 20 people all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. I was like, I'm
Yeah,
a
it was
people
really,
person.
really.
I'm like, okay, here's my tribe. Let me reach out to some of my people.
Yeah, but that was good. That was really good. Because look, I got a friend in you.
Yeah,
Like it was really, really good. Like, and I'm glad you did that.
that was awesome. I mean, I'm still really good friends with most of the people from that group that we got together in the beginning there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
So it
So
was
you
awesome.
have, don't you have a deal going on right now or something like that in my
Yeah,
area?
so I have a deal. I got a property under contract in Baltimore. It is a 2-1, no basement, and it's a small property. So that's what the problem is. Um,
Okay, 2 bedroom, 1 bath.
yeah, 2 bed, 1 bath. It's 680 square feet, but it's currently rented for 1,100.
Mhm.
So the rents over there in the 21224 zip is pretty good, and I got good feedback. It's just that it doesn't have a basement.
That is and
So
that's rare around
right,
here because a lot
exactly.
of places don't have basement, but, on the northeast side of the United States, a lot of them have basements.
Yeah, so that's the dilemma that
So
that I'm finding with this one.
21224.
Yeah, like I end
That
up I
that's like
acquired
in
a
my
couple of
backyard.
buyers. Hmm.
That's in my backyard.
Okay, I
So
acquired a couple of buyers though, which is
mhm.
good. In that area and the surrounding areas, which is good. But I
Have
need
you
to get
closed
rid of
on
this
it
one.
yet?
Say again?
Have you closed on it yet?
No, not yet.
Alright, let's talk after this.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. See, this is how we roll. It's all about community and partnering up and helping each other, and yeah, everybody wins in sub two.
And that's the best thing about sub two. That's
It
the best
is.
thing. Like
It's
I
like the support and the connections and the resources, and it's for life,
for sure. For
for
sure.
life. And one of the things I love about Pace the most, I mean, he's a brilliant, brilliant man. But his like heart is just as big and kind as his brain is, you know what I mean? And he is so great at whenever we have a problem coming up with a solution,
Yes.
I mean, he'll build a whole business around a
Around
solution to a
it.
problem that a lot of people are having.
And that's
And I
what's
don't
so
even think he
amazing.
starts out thinking, "I'm gonna build a business around this." I think he just starts out trying to solve the problem, and then it's like, "Well, let's just make a business out of it."
Exactly, exactly. He there's no one like Pace. You have your people that's for him and your people that's against him. But
I haven't met any
it's like,
against him, but I'm
oh,
sure they're probably
I've
out
heard
there.
some on Facebook, on YouTube. I've heard some.
When you have haters, that's how you know you're doing something right.
I know, right? Right? Because the haters, they come because of uncomfortability,
Mhm.
you know? So
Or competition. But,
there you go, competition. That's
yep.
right.
I'm
That's right.
thoroughly convinced that he is living his life purpose, that he was meant to be doing what he's doing at this particular point in time, and he is doing it masterfully and beautifully.
I got to agree with you on that
Mhm.
because he just always gets better. And, the ideas, like you say, they happen because of someone else's need.
Yes.
And it's just amazing, like, to watch this guy, especially like when we're on the Zooms, to watch him. He come in there, like you said, they ask questions and he's like, I have this problem. He'd be like, all right, let's get on my whiteboard, let's talk about this problem. And then he goes,
Right.
he runs it in, like you say, he's like, all right, let's create a business. How about we do this? You connect with Molly and we're going to do it this way.
And to all the haters out there, I have one thing to say to all the Pace Morby haters. If you can't beat them, why not join them? I mean,
For real, because all he wants to do is do deals with everybody.
he just wants to help and transform the industry to help all the homeowners and buyers and etcetera.
And everything in between.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Listen, coming to sub two, it's within the last, like I say, the last year and the last couple of months that I really put forth the effort into building a business. And in doing that, just in sub two alone, I went through everything that a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people go through. They go through the shiny object syndrome, which I've
Mm,
been there. I've done that in the beginning. Then for those that have W-2s, as you watch people in sub two that works this business 8 to 10 hours a day, every day, and how they're progressing, and then me having a W-2, not understanding that I don't have all the time that they have to put in it. And I only have this time. So my process is going to be a little longer, but not really understanding that and then being discouraged because I've been here just as long as you and why I'm not where you are. Well, the reality is that I'm not doing the work that you're doing.
mm,
I don't have the time that you have.
right.
So when I started utilizing the people in Sub 2 for mindset and clarity, like Elena, Marlon, Keston. When I started getting in the rooms with them consistently and working on my mindset, that's when I had a shift.
Mm,
That's when I held myself accountable for the work that I needed to do to get to where I wanted to go. And so, me being a workaholic, I stopped using my W-2 as an excuse. So, I know that I work 12, 16 hours a day, whatever. I know that um, Monday, Wednesday, Wednesday, and Friday, I only have an hour to work on my business. I know
Mm-hmm.
Saturday and Sunday, if I work, I only have, I'll give myself maybe one day because I'm work Saturday and Sunday at overtime. I can't work on the business both days because I need to get some sleep. So on the weekend, I may give myself 3 hours. And then the other two days in between, I have 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So what I started doing is committing those hours that I had each day to working the business only. And my children
Mm-hmm.
can contest to that because they would call me. I'll be like, look, I'm working on the business. I'll call you later, you know? And it's when I utilized the time that I had and was consistent with that time that I got my first creative deal that you helped me find a buyer for in October.
Yeah.
So it's
And that's the thing. That's why he has it for life because you do it when you're ready. You know what I mean? You can if you life happens sometimes people need to step away, but you can
right.
come back at any time and you're welcomed with open arms.
Yeah, and
Um
people are
just
ready to work with you.
Yeah, I was just on a Zoom the other day, and this guy said that he was like, "Hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been?" Pace was asking him, and he said, "I just kind of got life happened. We got super busy with some stuff, and he had been gone for 2 years.
Hmm.
Came back, and Pace was just like rewarding him. He was like, "Thank you so much for coming back and letting everybody know. This is exactly why I have this community membership for life."
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you are ready to commit 100% is when you're really gonna do well.
And that's why I retired from transit.
Yeah, so you're ready, right?
It's like when I wanted to do a creative deal. Because I have a property already in Jersey. I wanted to do that was those that's traditional. But I wanted to do creative because that's what he taught. That's what was very intriguing to me, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen so many people do it. I needed proof of concept for myself.
Mhm.
So when I put forth the effort, that's what I got. So, and that's what that property in Baltimore was. It was a hybrid. So it was a sub two, took over the mortgage, and then um we're paying the owner over the equity over a matter of time.
Right, like making
And then
payments on the owner's equity
right,
directly to the owner.
right, right.
Mhm.
So and I have a good rapport with the owner of that property. She wrote me a very good what do you call it? Um
Review.
Yeah, she wrote me a very good review. I don't have a website yet to put it on, but
We can talk about that too. I'm kinda looking into that as well,
but yeah, I got a good review from her, from the agent that brought it to me. And it was funny because the agent that brought it back to me, I think I spoke to her maybe in January of last year.
Wow.
Right. And I pitched
You
it
kept in
to her.
touch?
Yeah, kept in touch. And then she ended up calling me in September and let me know that, this may be an option that the owner is willing to consider. Would you get on the phone with her? And I was like, yeah, sure. No problem. So the follow-ups, listen,
Yeah.
follow-ups are key.
Fortune is in the follow-up. The
That's what they
savings
say.
don't come from nowhere. Absolutely, 100%.
For sure. For sure.
Yes. So, what advice do you have for someone just starting out in Sub 2?
My advice is to stay in the room. Start off with the newbie Zooms. That's where you're going to find your tribe. That's where you're going to understand how Sub 2 works. And it basically works if you work it because everything is there. So you start off with the newbie Zooms and also start on working on yourself because you will hit a you will hit a brick wall when you find yourself not getting any deals. But you got to be honest with yourself on why you're not getting any traction in your business.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. The last podcast episode I did, we were talking about that. So, people will, take action and then they just, won't be seeing anything, won't be seeing anything. And then all of a sudden, as long as you remain consistent, all of a sudden it'll just take off at some point. It'll
Right.
just take off and then just, keep on going and going. But, you never know when that moment's going to happen. And it may be for different reasons. It may take some people a little longer than others. But when it clicks, it clicks. Don't
It
don't
does.
stop after your first deal. Don't just say, "Yay, I was striving for my first deal." Because I feel like that's a problem. I feel like that's a problem with a lot of people. They work so hard to get that first deal, and after they get that first deal, kind of fall off a cliff,
Right,
right?
exactly. Exactly. They get
So
that little money and then that's it. Be like, oh, this is all I wanted was the first deal. Really? I thought
yeah,
that
so maybe not set the goal as get your first deal. Maybe set the
right.
goal as get your first 10 or
20
20,
deal,
and
right.
just keep on
Right.
going, and you got a routine and all about systems and processes.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. And squatting up, I can tell you when I first came in here, I met Marlon, Chris James, worked with Nisha Hyde. She's still my partner till today. Sean, oh my gosh, Sean Brickhead, he is amazing. I love him. That's my BFF for life, you
Yeah.
know. Kelly Rochelle, um, I get so many it's like so many people that I can say off the top of my head have been um that have been holding me and helping me during this whole process, from day
Yeah.
one to like where I'm at today.
Oh, yeah.
I got Jordan. I'm working with Jordan Riaz right now. Oh my God, we got a little team. It's crazy. It's just from where I was at to where I am and to where I'm going. It's like I don't even know where I'm going, but I just know that I'm going like, you know, the universe is my backyard.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's
Set
like
those goals.
that's it. It's limitless.
Yep.
It
I'm
really is. And the more people that I get in my life, the more friends that I make, the more people I can help.
I was just saying on the last podcast as well that I feel like I have met more phenomenal people since I joined Sub 2 in April than I have in all the years of my life up until that point.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't even been in Sub 2 a year yet. So we're talking with like 8-ish months
You
I've been in
know,
Sub 2. And
now
I've met more
imagine.
phenomenal people in 8 months than I have in the whole 51 years before that.
Imagine. It's just I'm telling you, it's crazy. Like I'm sitting here with Keston, I met Carlos Salgaro, and KJ Mudd. Oh my God. They are amazing.
Yes, such great people. I
Some
mean, it's
amazing people. Yeah, the Muds. Love them.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So definitely. Okay. What are some of your interests and passions outside of Sub 2?
oh, animals. Animals.
I'm
I,
with you on that one.
yeah. I have a short term goal of getting a farm, having some chickens. I want a chicken farms with some bees, which I got this from Sean and his wife. Um, when I go to Maryland, I stay with them, and I just have so much fun. She has taught me a lot in such a little time. But I want a farm to raise some chickens, do some bees,
Ah,
um, and breed
honeybees.
my dogs. Say again?
Honeybees.
Honeybees, baby.
Yeah. I was helping clients purchase a house a few years ago. like right before the pandemic, and there was a bee farm. They had like the beehives that
Mm,
in the back.
yeah,
And
it's that
it's like,
that's a whole nother. But that's a hobby, breeding dogs. We just got rid of litter of Rottweilers that we had. Um,
yeah, I
yeah,
remember the pictures of the puppies.
yeah,
Oh my gosh, they were so cute.
yes. So that's what I want to do. I also want to do affordable housing for veterans. So I literally want to do a tiny community for veterans, like just like a little um but a full-fledged community with, walking paths for nature, um wheelchair accessible for vets.
Now, when you say a tiny community, do you mean tiny home community or do you mean uh
Yeah, I'm
like apartment building?
looking into tiny homes. Because most of the vets, like, they're a lot of them are single. So I'm looking into 1, 2 bedrooms, like 800 square feet, maybe,
Mhm.
2 stories, 2 stories and 1 stories. So for anyone that has any ailments going up the stairs, they could pick and choose what property they want.
Have you heard anything about the boxables? You know what a boxable
Yeah,
is?
I heard about. Yeah, I was looking at it. Someone sent it to me. Yeah, I was looking at it.
I wonder how they're doing.
I don't know because I haven't checked it. I think I looked into it last month. I think Nisha, somebody told me about the boxables.
That might be a
And
good idea. You know,
and
like get
also I was
a
looking
piece of
into.
land that's able to have, that's zoned for structures and
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
easily get, water and sewage hookup. That might be something to look at.
Yeah, just have to look more into it because even like the containers, like we were talking about the container homes um over
Mm.
the weekends, but I never thought about this. So one of my girlfriends was like, how do they, because the containers are hot, right? They hold heat. So how do you contain them
You get
during
the
the
ridged ones, and now this is just a guess. You get the ridged ones, and they have like, they put the drywall on the inside. There's like insulation in
hmm
between. Yeah, but I mean, look it up on YouTube. There are so many people
yeah,
who will take containers and like make homes out of them and stuff. And
yeah.
it might be easier if you just get the land and let people get their own boxable or container or tiny home or whatever they want. You know what I mean? And just, you know,
Yeah, that's a thought.
I'm just always like ideas pop in time.
And that's a
Are
beautiful
you did
thing.
you take the crystallizer test? Do you know if you're a visionary or an integrator?
Nope.
You didn't take the test?
No, it's on my computer. I don't know why I haven't taken it.
Yeah, I mean, well, there probably wasn't like a dire need for it, but it's only like 20 questions. It's real short,
Like
sweet.
but with the other assessment, I'm like in between borderline of a visionary and an integrator.
Oh, okay. You did take it? Your
I
score.
took not that one, but there was another one that he was talking about. Um the one that had the animals. I can't
Oh,
remember.
that's Jim Quick. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Jim.
limitless thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lemon.
Do you know what your animal was?
A dolphin.
So was mine. I'm reading the dolphin. I thought I would be a cheetah, right? And I'm
hmm
like, no, I'm not a cheetah. And then so I did it, and it said you're a dolphin, and then I'm like, okay, let's see what the dolphin's about.
Dolphin.
And I'm reading it, and I'm like, that sounds like somebody with ADHD. Oh, it is me.
It's crazy, right?
I was like, if you have ADHD, you're probably a dolphin.
For sure, for sure.
Oh,
Oh my God.
yeah.
I
That
love it.
that limitless. Like I bought the book before Pace offered to buy us one.
Oh yeah, I did too. I did too.
Yeah, you went to the limitless seminar thing.
Yep. And
Yeah.
God, yeah.
And then John Lee was one of the guest speakers on Limitless. And then I did his social media AI thing
Oh,
recently.
okay. No, I didn't
And
do that.
he had guest speakers on his thing, and he was talking about one of his guest speakers was talking about the path to success, and it makes like a dip. It talks about the different stages,
Okay.
and there's a dip right before you shoot up and take off.
Wow.
And in that dip on the path to success is where a lot of people drop off or get lost. It's like it takes a dip like, doubt and, perseverance and all this kinda stuff kinda ta but then if you can make it out of that dip, you're gonna skyrocket to the top.
There you go. You know, it's like on my morning meetup, we're doing Think and Grow Rich Again, right? We're going over that book. And you're talking about the dip. So if you remember inside the book, they talk about how the gentleman um he had he just burnt all his bridges to go and work for Thomas Edison, and he talks about not having it's basically not having an excuse. Get rid of all the excuses. And this is what you're going to work. This is what you're going to do. And he went to Thomas Edison and said, we're going to work together.
Yeah.
you know,
It's like the universe is gonna test
in
you
terms of,
just to make
yeah,
sure you're ready for it before they give you the success that you're working towards.
right. And you just gotta believe, just gotta keep the faith and keep working.
Yes.
Because in all areas of life, it's just a roller coaster. Everyone is not up here all the time because things
Mhm.
happen. You're not in a world by yourself. You're in
Right.
this world with a whole bunch of people that have some kind of impact on your life.
Mhm.
So with other people, you already know that they're going to be highs and lows. And now
Mhm.
when you're at that lowest point, what is it that you're going to do? Either you're going to drop off or you're going to ride it no matter how hard it gets. You're going to cry, you're going to fight, you're going to do whatever you have to do. But as you start going through that and now you stop crying, you're not crying anymore, you're not fighting anymore. Now it's getting a little easier and then you rise.
And doesn't it make that once you get to the point where you're successful and things start paying off, it just makes it so much more rewarding. You're
Yes.
so much more appreciative of something that you had to really prove your worth and work hard to get to.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The hard work is the payoff is amazing.
Yeah.
Man.
I started to ask you, but then I kinda grabbed the car and turned it in the other direction. I
It's all
was
right.
I started to ask you about what are your passions. Oh, that's right. You were talking about the
Oh,
animals
yeah,
and
my dogs, the farm. Yeah.
and what else?
Children.
See, you
I
know
don't
what? That's like me too. I have like
yeah.
this thing for kids and animals.
Yeah, children. So, um I love kids. I love kids. And like I had looked into um inquired about adopting a special needs child. Um
Oh.
but because I retired, once I had the time and stuff like that. And then my main concern was like, what happens if I should perish and I still have the kid? You know what I mean? Like who's gonna take care of the kid? Like that's my concern, because I don't want a burden to be on anyone else that did not ask for what I'm asking for, you know. And
Right.
that's my fear, that's my
Well,
fear.
do what we can do now, us Gen Xers now that we have Google, we can Google it.
Yeah.
I was listening to this comedian one time. He said, "Raise your hand if you were born in the BG period," and everybody's like, he said, "Before Google." We're like, "Oh yeah, before Google." Yeah, yeah. He said, in the BG period, we just saw, if we didn't know something, we just continued not knowing it.
For real, right?
We were
That's
just
right.
walking
Never
around
thought.
dumb together.
Never thought about it like that. It's so right.
Oh my gosh.
You are so
Somebody
right.
told you something, they could be 100% wrong, and you would just believe it because there was no other source for your answer.
Believe or not believe.
Oh, God bless Google.
Today.
I
For
mean, we
sure.
use it now to solve a disagreement. No, it's this. No, it's that. Okay, well, let's ask
Let's go
Google.
Google.
Google, who is right? You are always right, Shanana.
I'm sorry. Oh my
I had
goodness.
to take Alexa out of my office because every time we would talk about Alexa, she'd start
She was
talking.
talking to, oh yeah.
I'm like, girl, you are evicted. Bye.
She picks up, I don't know that.
Right.
You know, or she'll put on some kind of music. Oh, 70s R&B. Like, no, I didn't ask you, Like I didn't ask you that.
You ever get in an argument with her? I have legit gotten arguments with it. I'm like, that's not what I said. I'm sorry. I don't, I'm like, unplug you, girlfriend.
That's it. Oh my God.
Oh, that's hilarious.
This has been, you know what? I was very nervous. I told you that. Like I was very nervous about doing this.
Yeah, there's nothing nervous
Yeah.
about it, is there? It's like
Uh,
pretty
no,
cool.
I guess not. Yeah, it is. Pretty cool. It's all
Uh,
right. I truly appreciate you getting me here.
yeah, thank you so much for coming on my show. I'm so glad.
Mm.
And we have to get together soon.
No, we will. We will.
Yeah.
We definitely will. We got some deals to do.
Yes. So
Mhm.
hang back after this, and then we'll talk about a couple things that we were going to talk about when this is over. Okay.
Sounds good. Yes.
All right. Well, thank
Sounds
you
good.
guys for tuning in, and thank you so much, Michelle, for coming on the show. Really
Thank you for
appreciate
having me.
it. So if you want to get a hold of Michelle, here's what Michelle is into: deals for Michelle, seller finance, anything subject to in a landlord friendly state. And if you don't know what a landlord friendly state is, ask Google.
Yes, Google.
Is Google a he or a she? What? Because they know everything. Google knows everything, right?
Don't forget about AI now.
Yes. Oh, that's a whole nother story. There's that. That's a whole nother episode. Yeah.
For sure.
And Michelle also has buyers for any properties that you may have in New York or New Jersey, right?
Yep. Just
And
send them
this is
on.
how you get a hold of her. You can get a hold of her on Facebook, and you can get a hold of her on Instagram. And this will also be in the description box after the episode. I will edit it and it'll be in the description box, and you guys be able to get a hold of her there. Okay.
Looking forward to doing some deals with you. Let's work together.
Yes, honey.
Let's
Yes.
work together.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Thanks again, Michelle.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time. Bye.